Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 2017 flooding in South Asia. My name's Connor Saunders, and let's get started. So obviously, the flooding was a major disaster that affected um, a lot of people. More than a fourth of the human population is located within the countries that were affected. So this is also becoming a more reoccurring problem because it is a seasonal event. So, so the cause of the flooding, like I said, the uh, The flooding is actually seasonal monsoons that occur between June and September. They occur because of the heating difference between the Indian Ocean and the Indian Peninsula and also the Bay of Bengal. It is one of the oldest and most anticipated weather phenomenon, but unfortunately it's hard for scientists to accurately predict when they will occur and the severity of the occurrence. So, and here's a physical map of how the monsoons um, are created with the Bay of Bengal and rain comes in from the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal. You get hot air rising from the Indian Peninsula, and you also have a rain shadow effect from the Himalayan mountains. So, magnitude of the flooding. Um, the magnitude has been increasing in severity in recent years, 2017 being the worst in 4 decades. Areas affected include Bangladesh, India, Nepal, and Pakistan. And the ICCD have determined that the severity of the floods have been increased due to the climate change, and at least 5.9 million acres of cropland were destroyed. Societal effect: more than 45 million people were affected. This is the reason why the number is so high, is because the long-term food supply was also in question due to the flooding of farmland. Between India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, over 1.5 million houses were destroyed or damaged. Over 85% of the Kaziranga National Park was flooded, and over 4,600,000 hectares of damaged farmland in Bangladesh. There's also thousands of miles of damaged roads because of flooding and bridges that have collapsed. Also, unfortunately, the people who are affected the most in this disaster are people who um, are impoverished and don't have that much money to spare. Some mitigation techniques that are being applied. Some major cities are implementing flood walls and levees, which are good and are helping major cities. But while waterproofing, such as sandbags, are being utilized, most of the people who are being affected are in poverty and cannot afford to properly prepare for these yearly monsoons. So overall, while while the mitigation is going on, um, overall not much is being done to help stop the flooding. With scientists linking climate change to increased severity of flooding and improper mitigation technique, damages like this will be more recurrent. And according to the World Resources Institute's Global Flood Analyzer, flooding like this will cost South Asia as much as $215 billion each year by the year 2030 because of increased temperature, um, sea temperatures, and increased um, water levels. And here's the bibliography for images listed as featured. And then here's my works cited. So.